Hello dear students, welcome you all in the third semester of MA English. I am Mr. Madhav Dudate, dealing with your paper number 11, that is Cultural Studies. Now, before going into the paper, actually I have given you the overview of introduction, and also I have provided you the syllabus. So first of all, we will talk about the syllabus and what culture and cultural studies mean, because that we have to understand at first. The whole paper, it is about this paper is about criticism. Cultural studies is one of the major part of modern literary criticism. This cultural studies, it is gaining so much importance in the modern criticism, modern theories. We have so many different theories that has emerged in the 20th century, and this cultural study is also one of the theory among that with other popular theories such as cultural study, gender studies, okay, subaltern theories, Commonwealth, so many post-colonial studies, colonialization, modernism, modernist study theories. So many such a different things, different theories has emerged in the 20th century, and this cultural study, it also emerged in the 20th century. So that we have to go on where in this present introductory part, and throughout the paper we are talking about different elements about the origin of cultural studies, the opinions of different theorists. Raymond William, one of the most important. Okay, so many such a different critics, theorists. We have to talk about them in this particular paper. So, first of all, what culture is? Okay, there is a definition. See, culture is not something that we are simply born with. Yes, what it says, culture is not something that we are simply born with. Culture is not, it's not a thing that we get by birth. Okay, rather it is the result of acquiring and performing very specific ways of speech, thought and conduct that helps us define our position in every sphere of our existence. Every human being, okay, he has an existence. He is living, he is leading his life. But in what way he is leading his life? These ways, that specific ways of speech, of thought, of conduct, how we behave. So combinedly, all these things, that would be called as culture. It is not the thing which we inherit by birth, that we have to develop. Yes, so this would be the culture. Actually, culture, it has emerged from a Latin word. It is a Latin noun, that is cultura, C-U-L-T-U-R-A. This cultura means cultivation. Okay, cultivation means obviously the development. Getting means creating something new, that would be there. And this is the meaning of culture etymologically. It signifies human efforts to make more out of what they got or received from nature. Now see, if we move on to the ancient part, if we move on to the origin of human being. So when human beings, they were living in jungle like animals, having food from the tree and all these things, different elements, you know how there is the evaluation of human being. And in this way the humans, they started combining together, they started living together, and they started a bit development. What was that development? At the beginning, in the initial era, they started developing some of the equipments. Yes, and after that they started developing attire for them, clothes. Okay, you know how they developed themselves, these different ancient things. And Then they started living together to protect themselves from other wild animals, and also to help each other, and with the help of each other they started agriculture. They cultivated the lands. Okay, and in this way actual development of human being gets started, and this was the beginning of the development of culture. Yes, it was farming a different culture, and this all elements, that is human civilization, it was the base for our culture, and later on it gets developed. This is an ancient term, as I told you, though as a cultural studies it emerged in the 20th century, but culture is something which is from the beginning of human being. Okay, from the origin of human being, it's continually going on. This term, it has been used by a Roman orator called Cicero, and he calls it in Latin particularly that cultura animi. Cultura animi means cultivation of soul. You see, it is not only about our appearance but also about our soul. It is the cultivation of our soul. Cultivation of our soul means it is about your thinking pattern, what you think. That is also important one. After that, the term has been used in medieval France as to protect or honor something. After that, in 18th century Europe, particularly the Enlightenment. Now see, in European countries in the 18th century, the spread of education gets started, and because of that spread, the Enlightenment get into the society, and this Enlightenment established the notion of culture as improvement of the individual's mind through education. Means this Enlightenment movement, okay, you might have known about this in the previous semester in European history of English literature, sorry. So there you might have known about Enlightenment movement, and they calls it as a notion of culture that is the improvement of the mind, individual's mind, and that is with the help of education. Means by learning we improve the cultural notions within us. Then in the 19th century it acquired a broader social meaning. Okay, till the time it was related with the particular fact, particular topic, but in 19th century it become broader, and it was used to mean the collective beliefs, ideas and customs of a certain class of people. Yes, 19th century what's happened? Now in 19th century it becomes broader, and it is been applied to different beliefs, ideas, customs of the particular class. Now see, here we have class, means different class. See, culture is very different, and this is something which varies person to person. It varies religion to religion. It varies geographical area to area. It varies class to class. So everywhere we have different cultures. In our class there may be 10 students, but all these 10 students, they carries different ideas, different thoughts, different feelings, emotions, experiences, and definitely they carries different cultures with them. So in this way it is a very distinctive element. Okay, and the culture becomes associated with the notions of taste, is what we like or dislike, then civilization, okay, then manners and inheritance, that also are the part of culture. But it was mostly used to refer to all the upper classes, elite classes of society. Now see, everywhere we have politics, and the same thing is there about this also. Now see, when we try to understand any culture, or every person try to imitate a culture which is being popularly accepted, but when we see, or what we understand and see in all previous works, text, whatever, if you analyze them, you come to know the culture of elite class, okay, the culture of higher class, upper classes, only that has been respected and communicated. But if we talk about our culture, the culture of working class, then that is always neglected. It is always supposed to be illiterate, or it has not been given any respect and honor. So this, it has happened because of the power and politics, and that's why in this cultural study we have a lot impact of Marxist philosophy, because Marxism that talks about the class consciousness, and this class consciousness, it also affect on the culture and cultural studies. If we go with the definition of Matthew Arnold, then you come to know how biased these elements are there. He says, the best that has been thought and said in the world. Okay, what is culture according to Arnold? Culture means the best that has been thought and said in the world. The best, what the best? And for whom that is the best? That is very important element. Means Arnold's definition is biased, and it has been later on challenged by so many different critics, particularly Marxist and cultural critics. In the 20th century, it has been used by anthropologists and sociologists, encompass the entire range of modes of thought, action and communication. In 20th century, it becomes more popular. Many anthropologists and sociologists, they use this term to evaluate, to analyze, to study different modes of the thought, action and communication of human beings. When we talk about the distinction between high, elite or upper class culture and low, popular, mass culture, this division actually it arisen. Means this distinction, previously only high cultures, upper class, elite culture, it was only given respect, response, and that was being represented throughout literary work also. Okay, you have studied Shakespeare. Yes, one of the most important dramatist, greatest dramatist of the world, English dramatist. Yes, and if we study his any work, then we can find out the protagonist, the idea, the culture that is represented by the protagonist or the main characters in that play. They are upper class, higher class. Miss all this literary text, work, art, everything that has been communicated, miss throughout, miss all these people, they communicate, they talk about upper class cultures. What upper class, elite class? Their taste, their thoughts, their ideas, that has been communicated to their readers. And when we read that, then we come to know that whatever is there, it is not about you. It is not about your culture. And also, culture, it get changes as per the time period also. Because whatever elements were dominant, acceptable at the time of your father, at the time of your parent when they were young, that is not now. What at that time, whatever was unaccepted, that may not be unaccepted now, that might be accepted. So this get changes, the style, everything, it get changes after particular time. And culture, in the case of culture also, we have the same element. But as we are talking about high, elite, upper class culture, that get popularity. Many people, persons, they talks about upper class and elite class. Means what is culture? The culture is something that is followed by the upper class, not by common people, not by working class persons. And that is something that has been opposed in our cultural studies. Following the industrial revolution of 19th century and emergence of mass media that is TV shows and cinemas, okay, this distinction became blur and unsupportable. In the previous works, we have so many a lot vary difference between these cultures. But nowadays we have the development of mass media, the development of cinema, and its transformation from different parts of the world. So all these things, what they did, they eliminated the gap between upper class and lower class culture. They eliminated the gap between elite class and peasant. This has been, they came closer because of these elements. And particularly if we see education to working class. Now see what changes or what inspired cultural studies. Culture is something that is coming from ancient age. Okay, but cultural study, it get developed with the education. How? Particularly, the education was being provided to working class people, working class students, and this working class, they leads inquiry to their culture. Okay, the common people, common men and women, they were getting education. And when these working class people, common people, they went to the schools and colleges, they study the curriculum courses, but when they study that courses and curriculum, they could not find themselves in that. Yes, if we study Shakespeare, we cannot find common man in it. If we study any previous writers, then we cannot find any common persons. We cannot find any common person means we cannot find the culture of common people into that work. And that was something that changed the ways of literature and art. And these people, they inquire about their culture, and cultural studies as a formal discipline was inaugurated in the Birmingham School in 1964. Okay, means what? They was unable to identify their culture. They reacted against that, and a specific school was inaugurated in 1964 for the cultural studies, and that is known as Birmingham School. But usually it is seen to begin with the publication of Richard Hogarth's The Usage of Literacy. The school, it has been inaugurated in 1964, but before that also we have some of the works that talks about culture and cultural studies. And this is the first among that is Richard Hogarth's The Uses of Literacy, and another one by Raymond Williams. Raymond Williams composed two works, that is Culture and Society, that is published in 1958, first published, and then The Long Revolution, that is published in 1961, first published. So with this, cultural studies get started. Means how this gets started? Cultural studies get started with education. Means the working class people, they themselves get involved into the education process. They studied curricula, and they come to know that their representation is not there, and that's why they reacted against that. And with this reaction, cultural studies get emerged. So this is cultural studies, and in the present syllabus we have 5 units. Okay, in that 5 unit, the first unit is the idea of cultural studies. Here basically we will get how the cultural studies get developed, then what is ideology into it, then British tradition, a short history, means how cultural studies get emerged in Britain, particularly European part, and politics, because that is also one of the very important part that affect on culture. Then we have some of the critics, theorist David Forgash, national popular genealogy of a concept. After that, Arjun Appadurai, disjuncture and difference in the global cultural economy. Then in unit 4 we have Megan Morris, his work Things to Do with Shopping Centers. Then Raymond Williams, Advertising, the Magic System. And the last unit, that is Stuart Hall, Encoding and Decoding, and Janice Radway, the institutional matrix of romance. So these are the 5 units, and every unit focus different aspect of cultural studies. Cultural study in general, cultural study in in a particular region, then cultural study in society, cultural study in mass media, okay, shopping center, advertisement. So these different units are there, and we will go with this unit one by one in the coming time. So because of this pandemic condition, we are not able to deal with this in classroom teachings, but let's hope as soon as possible we meet in the class, and hope for that. Till the time, we will continue our study in this way, and regularly I will try to upload videos about the syllabus, at least 2 videos per week. Okay, thank you. Be at home and be safe.